I paid Rachel's mortgage for 26 months. I want to be clear about something before I say anything else. I didn't do it to hold it over her. I did it because she was my sister. Because the numbers didn't work for her after the divorce, and because I was the one in the family who could. Our mother always said I was the responsible one, like it was a compliment. I've spent most of my adult life figuring out it wasn't. I never made Rachel sign anything, never sent a formal agreement, never mentioned interest. Every first of the month, I transferred the amount quietly, the way you water a plant. Not thinking about the gesture, just maintaining the life. My kids, Daniel and Sophie, knew Aunt Rachel mostly from holidays. She was funny at holidays. Loud in a good way, the kind of person who fills a room and makes children feel seen. I held on to that version of her even when other versions started appearing. I went into the hospital on a Thursday. It wasn't dramatic in the way hospitals sometimes are in memory. A routine procedure that became less routine. I called Rachel from a pre-op room, with that specific kind of calm that comes when panic has already peaked and moved through you. I told her I needed someone to take Daniel and Sophie for a few days. Maybe a week. My neighbor Margaret could do the mornings, I said. I just needed someone for evenings and overnight. She said she wasn't a babysitter, just like that, not angry, not apologetic, just declarative. Like she was stating a preference about food. Then she blocked me. I lay there with the phone face down on my chest and I thought, 26 months, not as a weapon. Just as a fact. Sitting in the room with me, Margaret took the children. She didn't ask questions. She just took them, and made them dinner, and sent me a photo of Sophie asleep on her couch, with a stuffed rabbit I didn't recognize, and I cried in a way that had nothing to do with surgery. When I came home, people expected me to be angry. My friend Claudia kept asking what I was going to do, her voice carrying that particular energy of someone who wants to watch a confrontation from a safe distance. I told her I hadn't decided. That was only partly true. I had decided, I just hadn't announced it. The decision wasn't revenge. I want to be honest about that because I've turned it over many times, looking for something uglier, and I don't find it. The decision was simply this. I stopped transferring the money. The first of the month came. I made my own bills, my own payments, my own coffee. I didn't call Rachel to explain. There was nothing to explain. The bank doesn't accept explanations either. She called on a Tuesday afternoon. I was folding laundry. I answered because I'm not cruel and because part of me, the part that still remembered holidays, needed to hear what she would say. She said the payment hadn't come through. She said she'd been trying to reach me. She said she didn't understand what was happening. I told her I wasn't going to be making those payments anymore. She asked why. I didn't answer that, not because I was performing restraint. I've read enough online to know how those scenes are supposed to play out, the satisfying speech, the perfect closing line. I didn't have one. I just didn't have an answer that felt worth giving. Some silences aren't strategic. They're just true. She said some things after that. I listened. When she finished, I told her, I hoped she figured it out, and I meant it, and then we said goodbye. I think about her sometimes when I'm driving Daniel to school. Or when Sophie says something funny at dinner that Rachel would have laughed at. I don't think about her with rage. I don't think about her with longing either. It's more like thinking about a place you used to live, present in memory, no longer part of navigation. I signed the kids up for summer camp last week. Alone. Paid with my own money, which is the only money I have now, which is enough. I don't know what Rachel worked out with the bank. I didn't ask. My mother would say I'm being hard. She'd probably be right. But I was the responsible one for a long time, and responsible people learn eventually. Sometimes late, sometimes from a hospital bed. That maintenance only works when the thing you're maintaining is still alive. I'm not sure it was, long before I stopped.